Hey everybody, Darth Bryboy here. Long time no see. I'm fully aware what I'm about to talk about is old news. Probably going back 1 to 2 months. I'm not entirely sure when this news was announced, but I have thoughts. Oh boy, do I have thoughts. And the first thought is, hell no. You can't catch lightning in a bottle 5 times. There's only so many times you can make something work before you potentially screw it up. There are those who argue that Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4 were downgrades from Toy Story 1 and 2. I strongly disagree with those people. I think Toy Story 3 is a masterpiece, especially for a third installment. It wraps up the Andy saga perfectly. 4 is a wonderful epilogue, asking the question, where does Woody go after Andy? What does Woody do when the love of his life re-enters? And how does he handle when she's a very different person than when she left his life? Toy Story 5 is the most money-grabby idea. And Toy Story 4 was already a money-grabby idea. I want to give you a history, my history, that I've had with this series. It was the first film I ever saw. The first Toy Story was the very first film I ever saw. I watched it so many times I wore it an old VHS tape. Toy Story 2 is a movie I watched a lot. Didn't wear out the tape. Still have the tape in my closet. Toy Story 3 is a movie that I loved when I saw it in the theater. It was one of the first movies that made me start to really analyze films on a deeper level than what I had been doing in the past. Toy Story 3 was almost like this perfect storm, if you will, in 2010. 2010 was where I started my YouTube channel. 2010 was when I started to explore different types of film. It was when I started to look into different genres of films, different filmmakers whose works I hadn't heard of prior. And Toy Story 3's climax with the incinerator scene is still one of the most gut-wrenching, hard-to-watch scenes in any film. It's a scene that rips you from the inside out. It's a scene where you see Woody, the most determined, strongly minded character, morally righteous character, give in to death, accept that he is going to die, but he's going to die with the people he loves most. Even if that death is going to be horrible, he accepts it. Which honestly is the most heartbreaking element of that scene. And then, of course, you have Toy Story 3's beautiful ending, when Woody is the hand that encourages Andy to give away his toys to Bonnie. Woody is the one to let Andy go. Toy Story 4 shows that he regrets this decision. He misses Andy. His life with Bonnie wasn't the life he envisioned, and he has a longing to find his purpose. It's a story of a man who's lost his meaning in life, where his ideals are challenged almost as much as they were in the second film. And they're challenged by a familiar face, the woman he loves most, the woman who encourages him to find a new path, a path that's greater than himself, greater than one child. His new path in life, his new meaning in life, is to give toys the type of life that he had, to make a child happy, continuing his goal but through new means. When Woody's pull string is ripped out, it's a symbol that he is letting go of his attachment to one child. He's letting that connection, that intimate connection between owner and toy, and he's moving on in his life, even if that means leaving his family. Buzz is the one who tells Woody, the path you're about to take is a righteous one, my brother. Go. Be with the woman you love. Jesse and I got this. Bonnie will be okay. I know I'm getting emotional while talking about this series, but it's a series that I have a very strong connection to. It's a series that means so much to me. It is a perfect franchise, as far as I can see. So then, the question becomes, what do you do with a fifth Toy Story? What potential story can you tell? Here are the 3 scenarios that I can think of how you do a Toy Story 5. Scenario 1, you retcon the ending of 4 completely. There's a new mission that revolves around Buzz and Jessie. Why Buzz and Jessie? Those are the 2 most significant characters in the series that have this deep connection to Woody. Do the other side characters have a connection to Woody? Yes, but it's not as deep as Buzz and Jessie's connection to Woody is. So they go on this mission to find Woody and Bo, to bring them back to Bonnie's house. Scenario 2, it's just a story about Buzz and Jessie and living without Woody, which I think is a fine story. A story that could really have this emotional catharsis of Buzz and Jessie being the leaders of Bonnie's Toys, trying to figure out how to navigate their new life without Woody. I think that story is fine as a short, just like the short Lamplight that you can see on Disney+. That's a fine short, a fine epilogue to Toy Story 4. I'm not entirely sure if that concept alone, that I just thought of, could make a really good 5th film. Scenario 3, which in my opinion is the fuck you. A passing of the torch move, where Bonnie's Toys pass on the torch to a new group of characters, which I think dilutes the entire point of this series, which is it's Woody's story. First and foremost, it's the story of the connection he has with Andy and with Bonnie. It's the story that he has with Buzz, Jessie, Potato Head, Rex, Ham, Bullseye, Slink, and Bonnie's Toys. The connections he has with the various antagonists. You look at his connection with Sid, you look at his connection with Prospector and Al, you look at his connection with Lotso, you look at his connection with Gabby, especially in Toy Story 2 through 4. All 3 of those villains are Woody's worst characteristics personified, and it's him having to face his own demons, especially with Prospector and Lotso. Prospector represents Woody's selfishness, his desire to be immortal, if you will, to be loved for all eternity, even if that means sacrificing his core principles. But he manipulates himself through Prospector's manipulation. I know that's a weird way of phrasing it, but roll with me here. That going to Tokyo will somehow bring the same meaning that being with Andy will. Lotso represents what would happen if Woody actually was replaced. A dark reflection of if Woody had snapped and he let his worst aspects control him. Lotso, like Woody, is a competent and strong leader. Lotso, like Woody, had a one-track, deep connection with a child, a determination to make that child happy. Just as Andy was Woody's world, Daisy was Lotso's world. And when that was taken from him, Lotso became a monster. And I know, I have a feeling many people might disagree with me on this, but I'm telling you, Lotso is intentionally a dark reflection of Woody. I'm going to tell you this. Look up the Black Friday reel. That deleted scene, Woody in that early draft of Toy Story is exactly like how Lotso is in Toy Story 3. He's a tyrant through and through. So, with that being said, with this brief little analysis that I've given you, my thoughts on the Toy Story series. I see Toy Story 5 as nothing more than a cash grab. The other factor we have to also take into account is a hard pill to swallow. These actors aren't going to be here forever. Now, what scares me with what Disney has done with Star Wars is they've artificially made these characters immortal. And it's gotten scary. When you look at Luke Skywalker in the Book of Boba Fett, it's like they time traveled and brought Mark Hamill back from 1982 to continue playing Luke in the 21st century. It is borderline that uncanny. When you see Darth Vader and Kenobi, it's like they got James Earl Jones from 05. No, not 05. From 1982 and let him keep playing Vader like he was in the 70s through the 80s. So are they going to do a similar thing with Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack? Are they really going to do that potentially? Tom Hanks is in his late 60s. Tim Allen is in his early 70s. These actors aren't going to be here forever. Hell, 3 of these actors are already dead. Jim Varney, Don Rickles. I can't believe I forgot the actress who played Miss Potato Head, but she's dead too. So the question remains also from an ethical standpoint. Are they going to keep resurrecting these dead actors to play these characters forever? Now with Toy Story 4, to be fair, they got away with it because they downplayed the significance of the gang. It was mainly Woody and Bo Peep's story, which unfortunately is one of the biggest flaws of Toy Story 4. The side characters really feel like side characters and are given really nothing to do except sit in a damn RV. The other question, dear viewer, is will I be seeing Toy Story 5? Of course. Of course I'm going to see it. I love Toy Story. Even though I'm bitching about it now, I know for a fact I'm going to see it. I hope someone sane in Disney goes, hey, let's not do a cash grab. Let's not potentially run this beautiful creation into the ground. Let's not be greedy bastards when it comes to this series. Toy Story, I truly believe, is a diamond in the rough when it comes to franchise filmmaking. It is one of the few series where a sequel was never intended, yet every single film has felt natural. But there's only so many times you can catch lightning in a bottle before it explodes in your face. And I worry that Toy Story 5 could suck. I'm worried it can negatively impact the films that came before it. So that's my 2 cents on Toy Story 5. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I love it as I love Toy Story 4, and I hope it's a pleasant surprise, and maybe it might be better than the 4th film, but I'm very skeptical it will be. With that in mind, live long and prosper. Thank you for watching my video, and if you're interested, please click the bell icon and subscribe for more content like this.